Bongani, good afternoon. So the talks have started. I would imagine Amcu has finally arrived, has it?
No, they haven't, Devin. They haven't showed up yet. We understand from Dr. Elise Stradom, the chief negotiator of the Chamber of Mines, that she did place a call to the National Treasurer of Amcu at some point, asking and wondering where Amcu was and their delegation. And she says Jimmy Gama told her that they would be arriving here at about 1 o'clock, but still they haven't showed up. The talks indeed have arrived eventually. The facilitators or the mediators, as they are now, that's the role they are playing now, started and went in with the NUM. They met for about 30 minutes, and about 15 minutes ago, they broke, and the MUM guys have gone for lunch now. And we expect that people will be continuing and carrying on with the business of day later after lunch. But of course, just to mention this, the nature and the format of the talks has changed from today. It's now called mediation, meaning that it's not everyone sitting across the table in a plenary session as it's been happening. The facilitators are going into the parties separately now, trying to narrow down the issues. I spoke to the chief negotiator of WASA, Mr. Franz Stereng, earlier on, and asked him about the significance of the change of the format at this stage now. And this is what he had to say.
Traditional kind of bargaining. It has shown that if we would go back into an ordinary plenary, that we would not get the actual result that we would like to see. Hence the fact that together with the three mediators, we have came up with a solution to say, let's get into a mediation phase, not formally, but part of this process, where we would be able to narrow things down to such an extent that when we go into the plenary between today and tomorrow, that all the parties would be able to know what are the burning issues, what are the core issues, and where can we move and where can't we move, so that we can give a clear indication to the employers, to the Chamber of Mines, what the offer should entail, what an acceptable offer should be for our members.
Bongani, Franz Stereng, they're talking about the key issues that they need to focus on as they get climatized to the new format. What is that key issue on the table?
Well, the issue of the table is firmly the final offer from the employers. This offer was tabled 2 weeks ago, the 1,000 Rand increase, which is a cash payment and not part of the basic wages. The unions went and consulted their members for the whole week last week and came back last week, Thursday, and officially, all the unions officially rejected the offer. Of course, Amcu said the 1,000 Rand was still too low, but the other three unions, NUM, Solidarity, and WASA, they expressed a deep unhappiness with the offer being a cash payment. They wanted to be part of the wages. Of course, they also were unhappy about the offer of Harmony, that Harmony had only increased its offer by 50 rands to 500 rands. I asked the chief negotiator of the Chamber of Mines earlier on as to the rationale why the employers have decided to go this route and make this 1,000 Rand a cash payment, and why they are seemingly at this point sticking to that. And this is what she had to say.
It is the issue of affordability. Our firm offer that we made about 5 weeks ago, you will recall the Rand amount was lower. For example, in the case of Anglo Gold Ashanti, it was 750 Rands, but also attracting benefits. But we heard the unions, we heard the employees, they're saying they want cash in the pocket, and that 1,000 Rand was there in the media and in the public domain. So for us to meet that 1,000 Rand, it means that we can make that offer, but then without that amount attracting benefits, and that is the difference. So the amount will be there, but it will not attract benefits.
Right, that's Dr. Eli Stradum there from the Chamber of Mines. Bongeni, finally, do we know how the discussions between the mediators and the National Union of Mine Workers had gone? You mentioned earlier that they did meet.
Well, Devin, I'm now joined by Mr. Tafa Moya, who is a member of the NUM delegation here, to tell us exactly about that. David Spoons, the General Secretary, left a short while ago. He wasn't feeling well. So Mr. Moya joins us now. Mr. Moya, thank you very much for your time. What transpired in your meeting with the mediators earlier on?
What transpired in our meeting is that last week, Friday, when we departed here, we did not agree on the mediation process. But we agreed that the employers would go back and revise the offer made in terms of an allowance, that it be included in the pensionable earnings of the employees. Therefore, we said to the mediators, look, this is not time for mediation. What we want is the employers to come and give us a response in terms of what we presented to them last week, Friday.
So you are rejecting the mediation process. What happens from now on? When you come back from lunch, what's going to happen?
We are rejecting the mediation process on the basis that the mediation process is premature. We want mediation process which will be under the auspices of the CCMA so that we don't waste time. Now, what is going to happen after lunch? We are going back to the plenary, and the employers must respond to what we have tabled to them last week, Friday, to say that the offer that they have tabled to us must be a pensionable earnings, must be part of the pensionable earnings of employees.
Mr. Moya, I thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Well, Devin, you can see things are happening, things are moving here, so we wait and see what's going to unfold after lunch. Respect to you.